Let's start. Now,
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, so I work for a conservation organization. I am a forester, and I am now involved in a project which we call Plant Nation, which is about creating a community of people around an issue, which are intensive culture of trees. This has lots of environmental and social impacts. So what we are trying to do is we try to give voice to these other voices into the debate that normally don't exist. And we are trying to create a community to build a common understanding of what is happening. And we want all together can look for different solutions, and we want to make the change the change that we need really happens. So it is about building a community and fostering this social change.
Nice. So you say you work for an NGO, International Conservation, is that it?
Yeah, it is
nice.
WWF, the one with the panda logo.
Yeah, I know.
We have offices in Brazil also. Yeah.
Yes, we have a few campaigns of WWF and on Kickante, actually.
Nice.
Okay, so
cool.
Is it my turn, Niels?
Yeah, maybe very quickly introducing you. So I invited today Viviane to be here with us. Viviane is and Kickante are a partner of ALOS since a couple of months, I guess, and we've recently launched a new campaign for us as well. What is interesting is that, from our point of view, it's very interesting that besides the traditional crowdfunding approach of, let's say, 8 weeks or 60 days, or there's different types, we are actually stepping into a sort of crowdfunding which has a recurring contribution. So it's not something that ends, but actually something that continues, and we are in a way creating a donator base, if you want to call it that way, but it's a bit different, and we're using the infrastructure and also the marketing power of Kickante. And Kickante in the last year and a half, but you're going to be introducing that, has grown very fast, and it's a good example of innovation through crowdfunding, but I think also going beyond that, because I think a lot of campaigns show that it's not only about the crowdfunding, but it's really about the storytelling and how you bring this into the world. So very curious to hear more about your perspective about that. Viviane, go for it.
Okay, thank you. Well, I am the VP of Business Development at Kickante. We are a Brazilian startup, but we were not born, but idealized in Holland, where our founder is. So Candice Pascoal is Brazilian, but she worked for many years. I'm not sure if Niels has already shared with you our Forbes magazine. Well, we had this text published about Kickante last week, and it goes through our history very well. But well, Candice had this idea of bringing to Brazil a crowdfunding platform with some features that were not available for Brazilians yet. The point is, people in Brazil are very creative, like worldwide, but here they were very underserved when it came to crowdfunding. So the idea was to start here and then bring it to the world. So very soon you should start to see Kickante in other countries, which is like my goal here. But actually, my presentation is not about Kickante itself. Yes, it has been growing very well. We are a startup, so we fundraise for ourselves, not through crowdfunding. We have investors. So I have a few ideas to share with you guys. So let me put my presentation on, and we can get started. Can you all see it? Okay. So fundraising for the future. We're going to talk about a few ideas over fundraising, not only crowdfunding, because I understand that, well, we do believe that if it can fit any project, but maybe on different stages, but there are other possibilities, and you shouldn't close yourself to one possibility only. You should diversify always. You can't risk the financial health of your initiative, so you have to think out of the box and, well, go out and picture possibilities. So you have government, angel funding, seed funding, venture capital. The very first one, usually the 3Fs, family, friends, and fools, which is very well seen when you get to any other of those, be it angels or venture capitals or even crowdfunding. If you start with family, friends, and fools, you're already building a community over your idea. If you have one idea, it's worth very little. It's like it could become something, but it depends mostly on your capability to execute it. And the more people you have involved in it, the greater it gets. So do involve people. It's very often I receive a few emails like, well, I have this great project. I cannot tell you anything about it because it's a great idea. But if anyone gets to know it, well, it's spoiled, someone else will do it, and, well, I lost my great idea. Ideas are worth nothing unless you execute them. So you have to be the one on top of it and do the most of it. Great ideas usually come along at many points in the globe at the same time. For instance, the first airplane here in Brazil, people say that it was sent to the moon, first flew in the world. In USA, they say it was a couple of brothers, American brothers. So it doesn't really matter. We all can fly right now. So the point is, it does exist. So don't hold back your ideas. Go through them. But, well, I guess you all are already doing it. And, well, yes, there is crowdfunding as well. So you should look to all of these opportunities and put yourself on your possible funder's shoes. So what is the government expectation? What do they need? What value can I offer them? Probably they need, well, social involvement. They have certain goals. So how do I fit in that? What about corporations? Why would they put money into my project? What is their expectation? Probably they want visibility for their brand. Or, well, can I offer value to them? Foundations which have causes that are alike your idea could invest in you because, well, they're there for the cause. And individuals, what do they expect? Why do I put money into a crowdfunding campaign and not into another one? Because it adds value to me. It could be a reward, like Saloa's project. So it's a piece of cloth that I'm proud to wear because I know it has been recycled. It didn't use slavery work and all of that. So that's a point for me. So where are all those individuals that see value in what I'm offering? And you should go for them. Here I brought to you a few top crowdfunding campaigns just to show off how crowdfunding can serve many causes and many projects. So the first one, which is National Record, was finished last week, and they raised almost 1 million reais. Currency right now is something very crazy in Brazil, so I didn't exchange values, okay, but right now I guess the dollar is about 350 reais, so this should be about something around less than $300,000. But it's still the very top campaign in Brazil, and they raise funds because they need a larger space to keep those animals. They have large animals like circus lions, abandoned animals. Circus have been vanished in Brazil, and, well, what to do with all those animals. So they created this sanctuary, and they need a bigger space right now, and they have to move. They need even more than 900,000, but they didn't reach their goal. But still, at Kickante, you can keep whatever you get, which is great when you think about NGOs and non-profit initiatives. They didn't have any kind of reward. Physical reward. So there was no T-shirt, no pencil, no nothing you would receive at your home, but you have the social reward. So when you donate 10 reais, you're buying 1 square meter, which is our measure here, 1 square meter for the animals, or 30 reais, 3 square meters, and so on. So they got to this specific public that is very, very motivated when it comes to animal well-being, and they did really, really great. The second campaign is from Bel Pesce. She is a Brazilian writer and entrepreneur, very young actually. She's already a bestseller, but her books are all free, all PDFs, you can download them. But she decided that she wanted to leave a legacy for Brazilians. So she wanted to go to every single state's capitals in Brazil, 27 cities actually, and to do this talk. And she wanted people to come over, but there's a cost involved. So she said, well, if you do pay 35 reais, you can come to my talk, and I'm going to give you my book autographed and many other rewards. So this is another public, I could say a very small percentage of people who contribute with Bel Pesce would contribute with Animal Sanctuary. They're very different publics, or at least very different motivations. So motivated by Bel and by entrepreneurship, she had other books offered, trip with her, a special talk for your company or something for a lower price. So she really motivated people to contribute to her, and she did by the time the national record. So she was very recently overcame by Animal Sanctuary, and well, it was a great campaign. No social appeal, so it can fit other initiatives as well. The third one, Fixing Roots on Wimbledon, I guess I can translate that way, is also an NGO that involves kids through tennis teaching. And well, they did very well also to buy a space to keep their work going. The fourth one is the new album of a rock band in Brazil, Dead Fish, it's called. So it's a pre-sale of something. We're still building something out. The album doesn't even exist, but we're planning to do it. This is the concept, and you can get it up front. You can get it for less than it's going to cost in stores, and you can get it autographed, or maybe you can go and meet and greet, have a meet and greet with the band. So what do their fans perceive as value? Do they want to be close to them? Do they want to have dinner with the guys from the band? So they have to go through their thoughts and offer what adds value, so people will pay for it. And then there are 6 days, which creates the urgency and sometimes even limited rewards, so people will run to get them. And last, the fifth one is a board game, which is something amazing that they've been doing on crowdfunding. They have these literally board games. I guess I have even got one here from another campaign. So it's actually a box like those you can see on kids stores. It's more like adult games, but very complex games and very specific public. They really keep their public involved like a year or even 2 years before the game is published. So they are building this community. And when the campaign came out, they had a 25,000 reais goal, which was reached in 30 minutes. Why was that? Because people were like crazy for that game. They knew that if they were like the 51st ones, they would get something extra that wouldn't be sold afterwards. So community building is key for you to get great results when it comes to individual fundraising or even many publics. Even when you're thinking about venture capitals or angels, you really want to spread the word about what you're doing. You want more people to know about it so they can connect with their own connections and, well, get you to the right spot. So when you're fundraising, either on crowdfunding or anywhere else, government, etc., you should tell your story, not only facts, not only bullets, because investors usually say they do invest mostly on the person behind the idea and not the idea itself. So that brings us back to that concept of the idea worth nothing. So, okay, you had a great idea. Unless you do execute it and you have capability to do so, it's worth nothing. So who are you? Why are you the one to build this story, the future story? What did you do so far that qualifies you to keep going? Why should I invest in you? On crowdfunding, that's very clear, because if you don't really have the credibility among your public, you won't go through. You simply won't get the first payment on your campaign. And sometimes I do even joke, if you can really get your mother, your neighbor, or your relatives to contribute with your campaign, I'm sorry, I can't, as Kickante, divulge it to all of my base, and you probably will get nothing. So it's your credibility through the text, the images, and the whole concept of the story you're telling, actually. So I have one nice story here. This is a personal campaign. It's called A Little Hand for Manu. And Manu is a girl, and she's Bia's sister. I'm going to kind of translate the story. She's daughter of 2 doctors, and since uterus, they knew that Manu wouldn't have one of her hands. But well, they got really well prepared for that. And well, read a lot to stimulate her development and for her to grow up with the fewer limitations possible, but still there would be limitations. And then when she got to 4, when she was 4 years old, it was time already for her to put the articulated prosthesis, and that costed a lot. So they had this campaign going with a goal of 150,000 reais, which is a lot of money right now. And they really went viral because they had this beautiful video telling the story, and always in a happy way. It's not like, oh, poor Manu. No, Manu is great. She's doing fine. And she could do even better if she had this prosthesis. So please help her. And they really did well. They went over goal 105% of their goal. And well, they went to the USA, and Manu has her hand right now. And they also, afterwards, they posted the video of herself using the prosthesis, which was just like amazing. Very, very grateful for everyone who contributed. And well, Animal Sanctuary, that I have already spoken before, they have this simple story. We have been receiving many animals. We love to do this work, but city has came along our space, and it's not big enough anymore, so we have to move. We need your help. That's a short and sweet story. It brings the message very quickly, and really did work. And well, they really got to spread the news. So National Geographic published, they had like many Brazilian bloggers and celebrities publishing about this campaign on their social media. So they really grew their base with this help. But again, none of that would have worked if they didn't have this first core group of people that truly believe and know their work closely. So how to tell your story? Where should I start from? Okay, I have this project, so how do I communicate? You should really show care. Why is it important? Why do you care? Why should people care also for it? clarity. So be really straight to the point. Don't tell your whole story and then the objective. I know I've been telling you guys, yes, tell your story, but shortly. Go straight to the point. Like, this is my story and this is the point right now. We need your help for something. We'd like you to participate. You could be part of something great. And case, why is it urgent? Why right now? Why should you jump in with us and, well, move along? You can get a lot more about this care, clarity, and case in this webinar. I guess I have already sent. No, I guess I haven't. But I can share this whole presentation with you guys. But I will share you the webinar link, which is in English, so great for you guys, with Candice Pascual, which is our founder, Tayana Degmon, our CEO, and Joseph Huffhanen from AVAS, which is one of our counselors. So great speech. You should all get to see it. And most of all, keep it simple. Keep it short and sweet. I mean, you can write your whole story as a great thing, but especially when it comes to communicate on the internet, you should keep it short. People don't really go through the whole page. Sometimes they even say in meetings, when we create a campaign page, my goal is not to get everyone to read it from top to bottom. No, what I want is people to click and contribute now. So that's the whole point of the text, not getting people to read it like until the end. So keep it simple always. And, well, use all available resources. So start building your community right now. WhatsApp, Google groups that already exist, or start your own group and start to gather people that could help you out. And maybe volunteer digitally. So we're all speaking from all over the world. You can get people to volunteer to you and maybe donate their pages to divulge your cause or your project or something. So start now. And, well, I'd like to talk about micro donations. This is not sure that where you are, but, well, it also is a challenge. In Brazil, donating is not a very common habit. So that's another reason why we wanted to start Kickante here, because there's a lot of potential. People here are very solidary, but they don't have donation as a habit. Like, every month I'm going to spare 1% or X% to donate. And I brought a few cases for you guys to illustrate this. So in London, they had this Penny for London campaign. So every time you use your contactless card on any public transportation, you have a small donation. So you decide if it's going to be like 1 cent or, well, 10 cents, or to round up. And it lets you know every day when you get through the subway, through the underground, actually, in London, that you have donated. Okay, thank you, you donated today. So it reminds you that you're doing something great. And for instance, if at any time you stop to use public transportation, that would get to you. Okay, I haven't donated, something different has happened. So it keeps it going. Okay, so you have been doing it constantly, which is great. So take risks, make use of technologies. I guess I'm actually being repetitive with this, but we should. So I will insist. Innovate through technologies, and you can maybe create a new story, a new great story to tell your investors and donors. So when you come to an angel investor, I've heard this from, we have Angels of Brazil here, and we one time had this talk together. To many entrepreneurs, and she said, well, if you come to me saying that you need money for your project, and you have a brand new car, you live well, you have been traveling twice a year, I'm sorry, why should I put my money in your project if you haven't even believed to sell your car and put in it? I mean, how much do you believe in your project? How true is that of you? So that should be part of your plans as well. Well, a few campaigns to illustrate that. No makeup selfies raised over £8 million for Cancer Research UK in 6 days. I believe everyone here has been impacted by that. So people posting about their pictures with no makeup to aware about cancer. It was like a huge success. Very simple mechanic. So, I mean, they got £1 million in the first 24 hours, but still, what about the awareness they got for their cause? I mean, way greater than all that money they raised. So they had this organic viral growth and also offline media impact. So it really grew everywhere. The ice bucket, I guess everybody has heard a lot about it. So the pyramidal effect was just amazing. They had celebrities involved, which is something we've been trying to use a lot here when it comes to crowdfunding. And well, when it comes to funding also, if you have a celebrity that also tries to aware about, I mean, the harness of garment industry, like quoting Salah, well, you should try to involve them. Why not? They have credibility, and they can lend it to you. And well, they raised a lot of money. I guess you all know that, and used technology to go viral. It was amazing. I mean, this was the very greater amount raised out of any natural disaster cause in history. So it was huge. Well, and talking about peer-to-peer, I guess we've been talking about it since the start of this whole talk. So the power of connection. Do get people to support your idea, even if they can't support it. It's supported with money right now. They can get your story going. They have their own network. So if I receive a campaign right now and it has no donors, I'm like, okay. Even Greenpeace, we've been having many campaigns from like Greenpeace, Doctors with No Borders, WWF here at Kickante. But the point is, if you guys right now receive this campaign from Greenpeace, and you know how huge Greenpeace is, and you see there are like 2 or 3 donors, okay, that's weird. I don't remember to apply on any Greenpeace newsletter, for instance. And why am I getting this message if I'm not like the first person they should ask to? And is this even real? I mean, Greenpeace, 2 or 3 supporters? No, that doesn't make sense. So you should get your own supporters. They are going to get their network to contribute, financially or not, with your business. And they are going to lend you their credibility and their network as well. So it's different that if I get this campaign like from Niels, who says to me, okay, you know Elos? I do know. I've been participating for many years and you should really support him. Okay, I can donate right now. And I donate and then I share. And I say, okay, a friend of mine is part of this organization and I really know the work they're doing. They're very serious, so you should donate as well. That has a lot different potential than like a cold message that I should get on my email. So that's the point of individual fundraising. And well, any kind of fundraising, any kind of community building or growing a business, you have to find your supporters. Based on that, Kickante launched in Brazil the third-part campaigns. So you can get others fundraising for your cause. It's like, well, it's my birthday, and I really don't need much in my life, so I don't want you to give me any gifts. I would like you to donate to Greenpeace or to Politizi from Gabriel or something, because I think this cause is worth it. And well, on my next birthday, I would like to see that it has grown a lot. So please do donate and don't give me any gifts. Or maybe any other kind of causes. British do this very well. So I'm going to run this marathon for charity. I'm going to shave my head for charity. They do many crazy stuff like jumping from an airplane and bungee jumping, etc. for charity. And you can do all that online. and fundraise for your favorite cause, even for gathering money from people from all over the world. Well, more about online fundraising. A few numbers, why you should really consider going online and why we're in this. So general fundraising grew only 2.1% in 2014 versus 8.9% growth on online fundraising. So that's great. 32% of online donors make over $100,000 a year, which is a very, very high purchasing power. They have the double average donation. So when offline people usually donate around $32, online they do donate $62 on average. So, which is great. And over a 2 years period, people donate 231% more. Sorry, I guess I missed a little translation there, but well, that's the point. They keep coming back. It's easier to come back, and usually people with more purchasing power has less time to spend on details or going around. So if you can get straight to the point with them and make it easy for them to donate, you get more results. And well, this is the growth index. So overall giving in orange, and online giving always on top of it. So this is how the recurring campaign looks like, the one that Niels talked about in the beginning of our conversation. So considering that people are willing to donate more a long time on the internet, we created the recurring tool. So I can choose to donate 10 reais monthly, which is like 33 cents of real a day for a specific cause. And that keeps coming back to my credit card, which is much better than many other ways we have of charging donors, because, well, on your credit card, you simply forget about it and it's already paid. So people can donate any value over of 10 reais or more. They can choose a higher value if they like, and that simply keeps going on. No goal, no deadline. It just stays there, but still needs you to invest time and get more donors and supporters, etc. And what about crowdfunding? I talked a lot, but not very specifically about it, the tool. So it's simply the practice of funding for your project through supporters. So who is your public? Who are the people willing to invest or that have the same values of my cause? Well, they would like to see it happening. Who are these people? What do they expect? How can I add value to them? That's the very first part of a crowdfunding campaign. What can I give them back? So this is how a campaign looks. It has a title. It has a deadline on here on top, right? The amount raised, number of supporters, number of days left. So there is a countdown. There's a deadline which keeps people coming back. The kind of campaign, this is a flexible one, that kind that even though you don't reach your goal, you can have whatever you've raised. There are rewards that can be physical or not. Your profile. We do avoid to put links through the text because that can take the person out of the campaign page, and well, not good for conversion. As I said before, we do put banners and call to actions because I want people to click here and really donate now. I don't want them to read it. I don't want them to go to another page. I'm not here to inform. Information here is like the tool for this person to contribute. That's how I use it. Well, you have a picture or video, and also the video has to have the same concept. Picture YouTube. When you're on YouTube and they give you this ad video, the video has like 5 seconds to convince you to keep watching it, to not like skip ad. So that's the same concept here. On the internet, you're competing with like the very all information available in the world. So you have to be short, sweet, and straight to the point. So if you're willing to make this person cry, do it on the beginning. If you're willing to make this person laugh, start with that, and then say you can have the it all. You can help us keep this going on. So please click and donate. Very straight to the point. Images. And mostly I say people do like this on the page. They like click on the video, watch the first 10 or 15 seconds. If it's good, they keep going on a little bit more. They read what's on the banners that we create. So we should put call to actions there. They see the pictures and, well, they click or they close your page. So you have to be very careful with the kind of information you put in here. And, well, Kickante likes to help campaigns to have the right format. Not all of them, just to illustrate a little. We had like almost 3,000 campaigns launched last month. So we cannot really touch each one of them. We do that through our autoresponders emails, but as the democratic platform we'd like to be, that like the main goal of Kickante, platforms in Brazil before us used to have these, they still do, they curate what is going to be shown on their sites. So it's not simply like you can go there, create a page and launch your campaign. No, you have to convince them that that's a good campaign. But at Kickante, we think, who am I to decide if you're able to fundraise or not? I mean, you should go, you should try, you should go to your supporters. And we, as Kickante, are going to give you the most knowledge we have for that to happen. So we have automatic emails that keep you going, like, okay, it's been 15 days since you launched your campaign and you haven't reached 15%. So you have a problem, you should do this, that, and that. So that's how we help. But there are a few campaigns that we can bring closer and help even more. So there are two kinds of campaigns. As I said, the flexible one, which is the only one we understand that works for NGOs and non-profit. Because, well, even though I would like to raise 1,200,000 reais, whatever I do raise is going to help my cause. So I do exist, I do have needs. So it wouldn't make any sense to like raise 10% and give 120,000 back. But still, there are projects like, for instance, a CD or a book. I wrote this book and I'd like to publish it, but to publish it, I have this cost, like 10,000 reais, and I'm not willing to invest from my own pocket, or I do not have that money. So if I do not reach my goal, the objective won't happen, and I can't deliver the rewards I promised. So in that case, it would be better to give all the money back. So I do have 100% of what I wanted, or otherwise I just give the money back. Well, nothing happens. Thank you for your for joining, but and that's great because the risk is zero. There are no costs applied when you don't have success on your campaign. Well. And if you're willing to launch a campaign, you should like go crazy promoting it, divulging it. Usually campaigns have 60 days, so you have to spare like 2 hours of each day to spread the word. And use every tool you have available, social media mostly, offline, personal. So I usually say, picture a politician in campaign. He shakes every hand and says, vote for me. It's the same here, but it's for your cause. It's for something really, really great. So please do learn with them. They have many professionals behind them telling them to go that way. And that's the way you should go if you want something to happen or someone to do something for you. There's even a study from Stanford that says, if you do need a favor from someone, ask, but ask again and again. People usually won't move until you ask them for the third time. So keep it going. Use WhatsApp and then go to their Facebook and then through emails and offline and at a party when you meet someone, keep it going. That's why we need 60 days. A 10-day campaign probably will raise like 1/6 of the whole expectation. And a lot more than money, when you think about crowdfunding, you can get to many other places like market validation. So the product or the project that I'm offering is really valuable. I mean, I thought it was. I do have my public very well designed, but did they really see value in what I saw? So should I adjust something? You can get like comments through your campaign. You can get many new connections. You can validate your product, or maybe you can get to know that you have to go back and picture it all over again. The greatest, I guess this record has already been broken, but there was this project in Kickstarter in the USA, and it was the coolest cooler ever. It's a drink cooler that you can get to a barbecue or something, and it has some liquefier within it, plates, lights. You can charge your cell phone on it. It does everything, almost talks. But the first time this guy launched his campaign, he didn't even reach his goal, which was of $100,000. He got back home. He sat for like another year reviewing his product, and then he relaunched it, and he had $13 million raised with the very same product, but with a few adjustments. So that's something you can get out of crowdfunding. A campaign that doesn't reach its goal, it's not a fail. It's not a flop. It could work for many, many other purposes, not only money. You can get early adopters and keep in touch with them. Okay, so how do you like this? Can you vote? We can decide which way to go right now in this project. So what do you supporters feel the best way to go? You can get in touch with these people for a long time, and they really support your cause, so you want to get them close. You can really grow your community, so spending 2 hours daily on your project really gets the word around and can be great for a project. And awareness. Also in the US, in Brazil, it's still starting, it's on its very beginning, but in the US, many venture capitals and investors do keep an eye on crowdfunding platforms because they know something new is coming over every single day over there. And maybe they would like to invest in them. And there are also the opposite side. So products and companies or projects have already got investors, but they still want to go to crowdfunding to validate their product. So is this the way to go? Should we go back? Okay, let's just test it. Cost free, no risk, why not? How else would you get that kind of research done for your idea? So here we have a few campaigns. Animal Sanctuary again. I'm a little obsessive about them. I'm sorry. It's very new. The second one here is a new album from Lobão, which is a musician, Brazilian musician, who raised almost 100,000 reais, which is great. And he has this curious story. He was like offering a meet and greet for 400 reais or something. And he's really, he has a strong political view and controversial view. And when it got to the other side of the view, people really divulged his campaign. They were like, okay, Lobão is asking 400 reais to meet him and nobody would pay for it. And that went on like newspapers, online blogs. And on the next day, he had like 10 pledges bought. That same pledge, 400 reais, because people wouldn't like to see him down because he really represented what they believe politically. So even bad media here work very well for him. And the third campaign is Miniature Mechanics, is literally a a car engine that like moves on your table perfectly, and something very new, Brazilian technology, and something that doesn't exist all over the world. And he needed 100,000 reais, a little less, I guess 70,000 reais, to produce it like industrial scale. And he didn't have the money at all. This was a all or nothing campaign, and was just amazing. He went almost to 200%, and he has other parts of the same car in scale. So there's going to be a new campaign for like brakes and wheels and etc. So in the future, you're going to have the whole car miniature on your table. And well, Brazilian people are really aficionated with cars, but went very, very well. And this guy did so great because, well, he started his campaign and he had a few people that already wanted to buy his product because he had been spreading the word and involving supporters even before the campaign. But there wasn't enough for the 70,000. And well, he got really... he was very down during the campaign, and he reached us, and we were like, well, you should go for face ads. You should add your campaign, maybe invest something. And he invested around 5,000 reais on ads to bring new people to his campaign. But well, there was already like 100 people that invested in his campaign, and he has also many quotes from engineers and professors, etc., that brings credibility to the project and a good presentation and all. And investing on face ads with a well-created campaign with a nice page, he really got the rest of what he needed and even more. So, well, if I can invest 5,000 reais to get 138, I'm going to keep doing that for as long as I can, right? So it really worked for him. And a few other campaigns like Doctors with No Borders, this one here in the center, they sold their 2015 calendar with us and went very, very well. Well, and many others, Greenpeace here, and smaller NGOs also, which is what motivates us mostly. Candice, I guess I didn't tell this part of the story, but you can read on Forbes. Candice used to fundraise for large NGOs in the world. So they they had this mailing, and they went to China to print mail for all over the world. They would post it, and well, with the right techniques, they had the return of the investment and also a fundraise by the end. But really bothered her the fact that smaller NGOs couldn't start fundraising unless they had a lot of money to invest. And that's a right spot where crowdfunding adds value to the market. So that's our history. That's how we see we can help people, not only NGOs, but musicians, non-ones, or like unknown, anonymous artists starting up, but they do have their supporters around. So it works. We have like really reached our public, and we've been adding value. We've been listening to them and like creating new features to, we've been really, how do I say, forgot the word. We have been validating our product and trying to keep creating value. So if you can remember three special things of this whole presentation, they are: put yourself on the shoes of your funder, of whoever is investing or you are expecting that would invest in your project. So can you deliver what is expected? Do you really add value to them? Tell your story in a simple and a personal way. People invest in people. They do not invest in ideas. So show yourself and spread the word. Involve as many qualified people as you can, and go for it. That's it. So as I promised, you can get my email here if you have any doubts or would like to share more of your project. Kickante is not translated yet, so the whole checkout platform is in Portuguese, though you can translate your whole campaign and we can receive donations through PayPal. But we are already working on that. Soon we should have the platform in English. People in Brazil can already use it, maybe Spain. And well, I'm available if you have any doubts right now or maybe later.
Cool. Thank you. Maybe we can do a quick round of some questions. There were some things already written in the chat.
Okay, I didn't see them.
But I think, let me see if Velena or Zaloa or anybody already has a question. You can open the mic or raise your hand. Otherwise, I'll pick one of the questions, which has for some already been answered, but let me see.
The gifts, the rewards. Well, I can speak a little more about that.
The question was, what is the effect and importance of gifts? And there was a question asked by Aisu. She wrote to us that her battery died, so we're recording this call and we're going to post it, and she can see the answer. In a way, you already talked.
Okay. Yes, I did, but well, I can say a little more.
But I'll listen to your answer.
No, it's a question related to this question, so I wanted to make it just a second. Yeah, because I found like very interesting other type, because for me it's very easy, and you talked about it, like to see people who are pre-buying products that don't exist yet. No, and for a person who is really creating something that it's interesting, that if even has a social impact is better, but it's a physical thing, no? And the campaigns, for example, here in Spain, from my circles that I have seen, those ones that are mega successful and they get like 300% of what they wanted, were things that were really physical, no? A newspaper that wants to a critical newspaper that wants to rethink their product and that. So everybody wants to have, for little money, the newspaper for the next year, or somebody who's doing a CD. But for me, it's still hard to see, even with the example of the sanctuary of animals, is like something physical, like, can you please apadrinar? No, I don't know how to say it in English. A meter squared of our new space, and it's a very big cost, no? Like to protect the animals, to keep them in their habitat. So, or even for cancer issues, no? That I see that that's something that's really uniting, and it's really that everybody wants outside from your family, your contacts, or even organizations that have a lot of history, like Doctors Without Borders, that any product they will sell, they have so much legitimacy already made that I find it like very easy also, somebody that hasn't known about them yet, they say, I know these people. But I still haven't done a crowdfunding campaign myself. Very hard, like to tell people who just see your project or they find it good, something that it's kind of abstract, something that it's doesn't deal with a product, not a real service, it's an intervention. Even if it's nice, it's very hard to get people to donate that they don't know, because I find, like it's still something that the people who are connected, and I'm like super connected to a lot of causes, but that doesn't mean that I donate to everyone, because
there's a limit, right?
Yeah. So the thing is that I still find it like hard to see how can you really create a big community, because also many times when you are doing social projects, you cannot just ally to everybody. You cannot say, I don't know, this mega corporation is supporting me, because that also gets you away from a lot of people. So it's always this thing in between of, okay, like, how is it that you end up, and in my case, the crowdfunding was paid by friends. That it's also not, for me, it's not, also not the final goal to have all your friends and family constantly supporting you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like how to really get, or what type of message do you recommend, more than the message, what type of rewards or what type of things you see that have like success stories about people who were very small, not known, and they didn't have like the story of Lucy or Manu, no, that it's something like very, she needs this now, it's like an intervention, and people who are trying to, like to do a project that is much wider. I don't know if you have any experience.
Well, you should first of all get started. If you're small and you have been so far supported by family and friends, you should keep that going. But if you do it in a professional way through a platform, you can get them the chance, and the platform is going to ask them to also divulge it, to share it on their own social media, and that's how you start to grow it organically. Could take long, could take less time, depends on the cause itself. So if you have a social cause like Manu or Animal Sanctuary, I mean, it's very specific and very touching, and that works a lot. But Animal Sanctuary had like 15,000 people donating 935,000 reais. On the other hand, we have the tennis NGO with 400,000 reais donated by less than 1,500 people, which is like 10% less people, but almost half the money. How did they get there? They offered amazing rewards, physical rewards, such as tennis racket. Is this how you call it? I'm sorry. Tennis racket, autographed by Nadal, which is great. 25,000 reais. They sold 3 of those. And also a talk in your company by Fernando Meligeni, which is a Brazilian tennis player. So they had the right public. So who am I talking to? I'm talking to people who love tennis, and they understand our work because of the tennis, not because of the kids themselves. The main thing for them is the sport. So how can I add value to these people? Giving the sport to them, giving these stars they truly love. So that's a way to go. And they probably got these rackets for free. So they had the credibility on that specific public that would let them to have these gifts from these tennists, and then sell them for like huge price, or offer them as a gift for a huge price. So there are many ways to go. If you don't have physical rewards, you should really invest in celebrities or people that can support and have great networks to help you out. And you should expect a lower average of donations, so you have to reach more people. And Animal Sanctuary knew they had it. They even got a TV program supporting them. CQC in Argentina. I'm not sure if you have them in Spain. It's a franchise. I know it's Hispanic somehow.
We had it some years ago, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very popular here in Brazil. And when it comes to TV, it's a really great boost. So that's how they did it. So each campaign has its own specific ways to bring results. We had this campaign, one of my first campaigns at Kickante, and I have great love for it, was from this cartoon writer, drawer, and he had 1,500 friends on Facebook, but 1,500 great friends, because he made like 38,000 reais. And we've had people with million followers that haven't done that, because he really wanted that to happen. And people involved with him really knew he was good at it and how passionate he was about it. And people would contribute because they also wanted the book for themselves. So 50 reais, you can get the book. You could get a caricature of yourself made by him. So many many creative things. Actually, rewards should be creative, exclusive, so people understand that, well, unless I donate right now, I won't have this gift anymore. It won't be available after campaign. They should be creative, exclusive, trying to find the word. And well, also, well, I'll get the word and bring it back to you soon. But mostly creative and exclusive. Like I can get this anywhere else, and it's maybe cheaper here. Even if I can get it later, I'll have to pay more for it. So why not right now? That's the point. You should think about every single public, the guy that's going to be touched and wants to help, and with no gift, which is also a possibility. Okay, the person's not obligated to opt in for something back. But you also want that person that, well, I was actually going to buy a t-shirt, why not this one? And I'm also helping my friend's project, so I'll go for the t-shirt. That's a thought.
I have a question here from Sego, who was writing it to me in the chat. I can't see his face. He's from Togo in Africa. His project is the building of a eco village.
Nice.
Eco villages are in many shapes and sizes and forms, but having that in mind, at least, is good to know. So he's asking, like, what is it also possible without gifts? And I think more the question of the physicality of gifts, because we have been talking a lot here about tennis rackets, t-shirts, stuff like that. I think especially over distance, it's not easy to send something from Togo every day, for example. Elena, I'll answer your question, let you give you space in a second. But yeah, I think there's also other types of gifts, I guess, right? That are more in relationship building, or sharing something of your culture, or sharing videos, or in
experiences,
I guess. In sharing attention, I guess, or something like that, or giving people something that is more to do with your way of working, or your philosophy, or what you want to bring to the world. Do you have some examples with that?
Yes, you can always offer experiences. So, well, we're building this eco village, and you can come over and help us build part of it. Where can I get that from? Or you can have this online course, if you are not able to come over, about how you can build it yourself, or how you can, like, you live in a city, there's no possibility of an eco village. So how can you bring this culture into your into your daily basis life? So what can you do to live in a little small eco village in home? How can you grow maybe herbs at home, or something like that? That really adds value when people are connected with this kind of cause. That's my belief. But also, I would go. I don't really like to be guessing much when you have already got a community created. So go out and ask them. We're launching this campaign, and we'd like to offer, as we thought about this and that kind of rewards. How do you feel about them? Which one do you like the most? Do you suggest anything new? And we can go for it. Why not? So you can also put a diary. Daily, we're going to tell you or show you some videos, or, well, maybe some text or characters, people that are here working with us, telling how the eco village is evolving, how it's going, how we have grown, and etc. That also adds value, and it's like cost free. You can get it. You just record what you're doing.
Yeah.
No direct cost. Or it's obvious that you have to invest your time. And yes, I got that word. Gifts should always be exclusive, creative, and generous. That's the point of, like, offering something for maybe a lower price than you would have in the future, or something that is not available at all. I mean, we're not going to give these videos away. They are only for this specific community, because you're willing to come with us, so you can have access to something very special.
Great, thank you. Elena, you've been waiting to ask your question. Go for it.
No, I was listening. Every question is interesting. Yeah, my question is, which is the best way to use these fundraising tools to improve the sustainability, the financial sustainability of the projects in the long term? Do you have any specific example which approach should be used? Because it seems to me that these tools help you to fundraise specific things, but not. I cannot see the long term.
Okay, I have Warriors with No Weapons as an example. We have launched this recurring campaign. So they Warriors with No Weapons do fundraise for the projects specifically annually, but they had this, correct me if I'm wrong, Niels, but they do accompany the Warriors even when the project is finished. Well, it has actually started when it finishes, right? And they don't fundraise for that purpose specifically, and there are costs involved. So they launched this campaign where warriors themselves or any other kind of supporters or people that appreciate this work can donate monthly through their credit card. So the person goes out and says, well, I do like Warriors with No Weapons, and they have already got people that came to them with no stimulation at all and said, I would like to donate to you monthly. So please show me the available ways to do that. And when you have it online, you can get people to spread it for you, also to share it. So that's the way to go. When you think about sustainability, you should think about recurring. That's how UNICEF, that's how Greenpeace, that's how Doctors Without Borders, they do all see value specifically on recurring donors. They do have specific campaigns, they do have petitions, but mostly to gather people interested on their causes and then try to convert them into recurring donors. But when they do that, they usually do it by phone, and well, they have this really force of, I wouldn't say sales, but acquisition force to make that move. And this move is much simpler when you get to the internet. It's much cheaper to acquire a new lead when you have already launched a crowdfunding campaign, when you have like 1,000 people donating for your cause, and then next month, or even when the campaign is running, you can tell these people, well, thank you, you have donated this one time, but we do need help every single month. So if you're willing to come with us, you can help with 10, 20, whatever money in any currency, euros, dollars, reais, whatever you can.
Thanks.
Maybe I can add a little bit to it, to this specific campaign. And I think it's also interesting for others is that our ideas. So we have this program, Warriors Without Weapons, where we get 60 participants to come to Brazil. They participate in the program where they work in 3 communities, and they mobilize the community to realize a collective project based on their collective dreams. The people have a transformation physically, but also there's a lot of learning going on. It's a 32-day program, and that's it. But what we see was like, okay, every year we have to constantly restart the process of getting partners and funders, etc. Well, we have done this program already almost 10 times now, 9 times. Working with many communities, it's a moment where we believe we should mobilize the community as a whole. So all the people that have participated in previous programs, that have been supporting the communities themselves, to actually build a structural, sustainable basis of personal supporters to host the continuation of the program and the realization of the next. And what is important for us is that we've decided not to give back in t-shirts or cups or whatever, but actually in the possibility to be part of it. And we do that by sharing a lot of stories. We're going to have a lot of small videos that we make. We're going to tell stories of the impact. We're going to share stories of the people in the communities through photos and quotes, etc. And we're going to offer opportunities for people to be together with the communities or with the warriors. So that if you're supporting, you're actually becoming part of a community of that is closer to this whole network of people. And we believe that in our case, that relationship building is essential, and storytelling is essential for it, rather than because with that we give back in a way belief, or we give back hope that things can be done. And I think a cup is very nice to have and you can drink from it, but I think that the story is more important, and that people would love to share stories. So that was the decision of our strategy, and we've just started, but that's the philosophy behind it.
Actually, on recurring campaigns, we usually don't even recommend that you offer physical things, because you have to keep sending them monthly. And on crowdfunding, it makes more sense on that very way that I told. I mean, the person that was already willing to buy a cup is going to buy your cup because, well, I'm helping them. So you can get an extra public that maybe wouldn't come from the cause itself. But yes, I do understand the Warriors cause, and they have a very strong community built already, not only of warriors but supporters. And these warriors know how to get something done. So we are also talking about creating goals for them. So each warrior, and they're like 500, right, Niels? People, almost. So if each one of them brings 10 monthly donors, we will have already 5,000 people donating every month. The minimum of 10 reais, that will be 50,000 reais, which is a lot of money over 12 months. So that's the plan.
We have about 5 minutes left, so I want to check if there's any questions that still. There was one written that I could pose, but I think it was already a bit answered. Zaloa or TP, who checked in from South Africa, do you want to ask anything specific? Elena, any other additional question for you at the moment? Okay, cool. Well, there was a question here that was related to communication and campaigning, which I think was partly answered, but maybe you can share a little bit more, which was also the importance of getting media involved. You spoke a lot about mobilizing community and the importance of having people that trust in you, and that you have some sort of level of credibility with. I think that also goes for funders beyond, let's say, crowdfunding and people that are nearby. I think the same goes for relationship with funders, etc. What is the importance of media in that sense?
Well, the media also adds credibility to a project, or not, depends on the on the vehicle. But you should get in touch. Sure. I mean, not all campaigns get media attention. Not all campaigns seek for media attention. The conversion is much better when it comes to online media, for obvious reasons. Well, if the blog posts about it, even though it has like only 10,000 readers, people can click and donate right now. But if you have it on the paper, on newspaper, well, people are going to read it. They have to like take a picture, type on the very moment, and that sure brings your conversion down, but still brings your awareness. So the person, quoting again Stanford, ask again. So the person read about your project on newspaper, and then she's impacted by it on the internet. So, okay, I've seen it before. Newspaper talked about it. Now my friend is sharing. I guess this is for real. I'm going to check it out. So it does help. You should go for it. If you have availability, you should go. And also crowdfunding is still something new. So at least in Brazil, we can get a lot of media out of it. In US, they do because it's really great. And in Europe, I've seen many things about the Louvre that raised like 4 million euros to restore the victory of Samothrace. And they offered as a reward some things like, well, you can access the Louvre on Tuesdays when usually they're closed, and picture how much media you can get out of that. So if you also can get, when I talk about media, I mean, if you have a project that Louvre supports, for instance, and they can share it on their own social media or to their own mailing list, well, that's great. That's great. Louvre has a lot of credibility, and if you're talking about art and they are sharing it, people are going to hear you. So yes, you should get as much help as possible, and you should get to media as well. Did I answer your question?
Yes, I think so. It was somebody else's question, but I think
Okay.
to me also for sure. Yeah, I think maybe I have one last question, and I've been thinking a lot about it because I see that there's a lot that you're talking about. Also, I would say that you need to be ready for it or prepared for a campaign. I think there's some certain conditions, but that is, I think, also for any project that you want to start and look funding for. But I see a lot that you need time. I think you need to have a community in a certain sense, or at least a group of supporters that are wanting to step into it with you together. And in a way, I think you should be able to tell a story or have other ones do it for you. I think that is what I see are certain conditions in order to start going out. Do you have any other to add to it?
You should have passion. If you don't really want it to happen, you probably won't. I mean, it's not easy, but it's also not impossible. So there are techniques you can apply and have a great campaigns. But you have to be passionate about it, because it won't come like, there's no free lunch. You have to put your heart out of it. So there's a phrase you like to use: launch hard or go home. So if you're starting it, do it for real.
Launch hard or go home, and there's no free lunch.
No free lunch. That's not my phrase. I guess that's it.
All right, good. Thank you very much. We're going to record this, and we're going to put this on the platform. Can we put the PPT or the presentation that you made also?
Sure.
There? Very good. Cool. Any other last things from anybody? Or we're just going to say ciao and thank you, right?
Yeah, thank you. And yes, like you recommended, like although the projects are from different countries, they can go through your platform, or it's better to use national, or what do you think?
Well, there's a language limitation. Right now, we are not in other countries. You can have a campaign from abroad in Brazil, in Kickante, for sure. But we probably will lose a lot of conversion on our checkout, which is fully in Portuguese.
Okay.
So you should consider that. The recurring maybe would be easier because, well, the person has to go through all that only once. So right now, if you don't have Portuguese speakers in your community, it would not be the best way to go.
Okay, thank you.
Vale. I think that was it. Thank you very much. And oh, by the way, for everybody who's here, there's a little blog that I started, or a discussion that I started on the Emotive platform, where people can contribute with some ideas, answers, or questions that they're still holding around fundraising. and I'll put some of the links there too, so you can find everything back there, and we can in the group continue conversations about funding. All right, good. Ciao, everybody, and have a great day.
Thank you. Ciao.
Thank you, Viviane.
Ciao.
Obrigado.